Why I stopped explaining myself. I used to explain myself a lot, not because I was wrong, but because I wanted people to understand me and approve of me. But over time, I realized something important. Explaining isn't clarity, it's insecurity. When we explain ourselves, most of the time we think we are just being honest, but usually we are just trying to be accepted. We want others to see us in the right light. We want them to think we meant well. But here's the first reality: people don't evaluate you based on explanations, they evaluate you based on patterns. Explaining is rarely about clarity, it's almost always about fear: fear of being misunderstood, fear of judgment, fear of losing connections. I realized that more I explained myself, the more I repeated what I thought people wanted to hear instead of what was actually true. Let me say this clearly: you do not owe everyone an explanation, not for your choices, not for your boundaries, not for your growth. And the moment you realize that, your life changes. We grow up believing that being understood is a requirement, that if people question us, we must respond. If they doubt us, we must defend. If they are confused, we must clarify. So we explain and explain and explain some more. The more you explain, the more permission you give people to judge, debate, and resist your life. You turn your decision into open court cases. You hand over authority that was never theirs to begin with. And for what? Approval? Validation? Comfort? Let me ask you, has over explaining ever actually satisfied the wrong person? No. Because people who misunderstand you on purpose will never understand you, no matter how perfectly you explain. People who respect you don't need explanation. People who don't respect you won't accept them. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you saying, please believe me, please approve of me, please tell me I'm allowed to choose this. But you don't need permission to live your life. You need confidence. Confidence sounds like this: this is what I decided. This works for me. I'm not available for that. No. No backstory, no defense, no apology, just ownership. The reason we over explain isn't because people need it. It's because we are afraid. Afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of disappointing others, afraid of seen as selfish, rude, or difficult. But hear this: being misunderstood is not a failure, it's a consequence of being independent. When I stopped explaining myself, not to be rude, but to be honest, something changed. People who mattered didn't need explanation, they understood without them. People who didn't matter, explanation didn't help. They still judge. They still misunderstood. So explaining didn't change anything. It only delayed the real sorting. Silence isn't weakness. Silence isn't avoidance. Silence is clarity without justification. When you stop explaining, you show confidence. You conserve mental energy. You stop repeating your truth to people who aren't listening anyway. And that starts to filter your real life in a real way. I'm still learning this every day. I still catch myself wanting to explain, but now I pause before speaking and think, is this clarity or insecurity disguised as words? Because I don't explain anymore. I act accordingly. And that's where the real growth begins.